These are the top 10 AI news from last week. Top 10 who decided? I just decided. The very first one and the most hottest one, double superlative here, is models from Anthropic. They've launched a new 3.5 Sonnet and they've announced a new 3.5 Haiku, even the model is not available. And they also announced something called computer use, about which I've already made a video. So now the 3.5 Sonnet is crushing. We have seen a video where people are building Minecraft objects, Minecraft buildings using a 3.5 Sonnet. And we have also seen a lot of other benchmarks where the new 3.5 Sonnet is completely crushing. It's not just the benchmarks that Anthropic released here. So if you were to compare this Anthropic 3.5 Sonnet with the original GPT-4o and even the previous 3.5 Sonnet, it's completely crushing. You can see that this GPQA, it's 65%, zero shot. The only benchmark where you can see some model like Gemini is doing better is the math problem. And you know why it is. If you spot the difference why it is, please let me know in the comment section. But otherwise, this model is truly stunning. And it's not just this model's language capabilities are good. Even the model is much better in the multimodality capability. MMMU, the model is doing great. SWE bench. This is a benchmark that has been used to understand how much these models can solve GitHub issues. And OpenAI released a new data source based on that, which is called verified. And even that benchmark, this model is doing excellent, like 49%. This means out of SW benchmark, SWE verified benchmark, this model can solve almost 49% of open GitHub issues, which is quite insane. There are a couple of agentic use cases. This model is crushing it. Overall, this model is the best model. I think at this point, there is no debate about it. This model is the best model. The only problem with Anthropic is the rate limits and all the other things that you have to deal with. But this model is excellent. Other than that, they've also released or announced a new Haiku, Claude 3.5 Haiku. And they've also taught computers, according to them, taught models to use computers responsibly. I don't know what happens to this whole thing that Anthropic was created to be a safe computer. Now Anthropic is literally training models so that they can access the entire computer. Either way, I'm happy. I'm not very much worried. Computer use scored 14.9% on something called OS World. This is quite excellent. The next thing is about computer use. Computer use itself is a excellent feature, a dedicated feature, and this is not a new tool per se. See, that's one thing that a lot of people not understanding. This is just an extension of the existing model, which can understand screenshots. So they've taught the model to go pixel by pixel. That means the model can understand everything within a given area. The model can also help you navigate your mouse cursor into a particular pixel. So it can be augmented with a bunch of tools. So you've got a computer as a tool, you've got a text editor as a tool, you've got Bash as a tool. So you can just say, oh, save a picture of my cat to my desktop, a cat. So it will open the browser. Some of it is obsessed with Firefox. It will open the browser, look for a cat image, right click it and save it. If you have not seen my video, how I asked AI to create a picture for me, you should definitely watch it. One of the easiest way for you to use computer use locally on your computer. I mean, it's not local. Instead of using inside a Docker container or Replit, if you were to use it on your computer using Anthropic models, then you should definitely check out this agent.exe, which is an open source MIT licensed project. You can see the entire source code. Quite excellent. I've tested it. Amazing. The next one is all about multimodality. So Act 1 is a new feature from Runway. I started wondering that maybe Runway is like, kind of out of touch. And then suddenly we have got Act 1. If you see Act 1 demos, it's mind blowing. All you have to do is you can have an image and then have humans do some kind of a facial expression, and that will be like literally translated.
All the way down to the Department of Motor Vehicles and didn't bring your driver's license.
I mean, even the frown is quite amazing. All the details. If you can see here, the eyebrows, the blinking of the eyes. I think everything is quite excellent. This is really going to do a lot of creative work. The model, again, there is a section about safety and all the other things, but I think it's quite excellent. The fact that you can do zero shot, take a video of yourself, have a model completely match your expression, map your expression to an object with whatever that you want to do is, it's insane. It's insane. The fact that you can do is going to open up a lot of creative arenas for people like this: advertisement, commercials, TVCs, a lot of things. This is quite excellent. You should definitely check out. The next thing is the state of the art open source video generation model. It's called Mochi. It's from a company called Genmo.ai. The model is open source or open weights with Apache 2.0 license. So you can download the model weights, but you need like four A100s or I think H100s to run the model. So it's nearly impossible for anybody to run the model at their home unless until you've got like signed version of DGX, these kind of clusters from Jensen Huang. But it's very interesting to see that a company from nowhere came and then created some of the best works that you can see. And this is Mochi one. A lot of demos are available here. I might probably make a separate video altogether, and you can see the prompt adherence and the elo score. So the model is almost on par with Kling in terms of the motion quality. The model's prompt adherence is once again much better than a lot of closed source models, even Runway ML, Kling, Pika. Not sure what is happening with Pika though. But anyways, this model is quite excellent. The model is available on a lot of different platforms for you to use. One, it is available on their own platform called Genmo.ai. So you can go use, I think one or two prompts are available. So it's available on Fall if you're a developer. So a lot of different places. Definitely check out. The next surprising thing was IBM company. You remember IBM, I think International Business Machine. IBM has open sourced a bunch of models. In fact, small language models, SLM, and the model series is called Granite. It's Granite 3.0 is what has been released. It's basically they've released the base model, instruction tuned model that can be used for mainly RAG, text summarization, and all the other things. I don't know what is text analytics in this case that they're referring to, but I guess this is classical NLP. So this model is good. According to them, is good. The benchmarks look good. One of the subscribers actually complained that I didn't cover the model. So the reason I didn't cover the model exclusively is that, see, all these big companies keep on releasing these small language models. Sometimes I don't find it useful enough to just literally go use any new model. See, a benchmark gain in like 3% point, it's not going to make a huge difference in your everyday production use case. So for example, if you're using Llama 3.1 8 billion instruct model, or you're using Mistral 7 billion instruct model, I don't see any point why you should go ahead, change your code, make a new change, and then start using Granite. If you want to try out these new models, it's completely fine. But yeah, I don't see a point. So anyways, you can use IBM Granite if you're a big fan of IBM. But otherwise, let's go to Stable Diffusion. It's kind of, coming of an age arc for Stable Diffusion, I would say. Stable Diffusion 3.5 model has been released. The model looks good in a lot of tests, in a lot of demo images, and also experience that people shared. I found the model is good, much better than the previous releases, and these models are also customizable. So this is an image that has been created by this. Even the text, as you can see here, it is the prompt generated. So as you can see here, this is aesthetic bow, fashion, full body, 30 something woman laying on a micro floral grass, candid pose, overlay read, Stable Diffusion, cheerful cursive typography, font. It's excellent. I mean, I can imagine using this as YouTube thumbnail. The model is open weights. That means it is not like the standard license, but still it gives you a permissive license. So if you are not a big company, I think less than 1 million ARR or something like that is there. So most people like you and I, we don't have to worry about it. We can use it even for commercial purpose. The model is available. The model has got some excellent benchmarks. The images look good. The prompt adherence is good. The aesthetic quality is good. So somewhere here you have got a Stable Diffusion 3.5 large, and you can see Flux Dev is probably the best one, beating this in terms of aesthetic quality. But on every other model that you see here, Stable Diffusion 3.5 is amazing. The text renderizing is good. The prompt adherence is good. The detail is good. A lot of things are good. So you can use it for assets like game assets, video generation assets, and all those things. It's free for commercial use, like I said, up to 1 million in ARR, and free for non-commercial use. And ownership of, so it retains the ownership of media generated. You can retain the ownership of media generated without a restrictive license. So it's good. Like if you were to create a stock photography, a lot of things are good. So this is something that was totally unexpected. I I kind of started feeling that Stable Diffusion or Stability AI after Imad Mustaq left as kind of went into a down spiraling downfall. But it could have been Imad. We don't know the internal details. It could have been Imad, but it's very happy to see Stable Diffusion coming back and then launching a model. Model is good. The model is coming with permissive license. I'm extremely happy about the company. The next one is a new model and also kind of a tool from Microsoft. Microsoft has something called Microsoft Research, Microsoft Gen AI. I think this ex-Inflection guy is CEO for this. I'm not exactly sure. Anyways, this is called Omni Parser. It's for a vision-based GUI agent, graphical user interface. If you remember computer use, what computer use trying to do is look at everything at pixel level. What this model is trying to help you is, okay, can I figure out what are the components in UI, user interface, so that you can use an LLM to parse this and then act on it. So that is basically what this is trying to do. Any user interface, a screenshot of a mobile phone, Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft SharePoint, whatever that you share. So this is basically a large language model to understand UI, graphical user interface or user interface. And then you can use this model to bunch of things. Whether you want to use it to control, let's say the UI, whether you want to build an agent, lot of useful use cases. They've got an excellent demo. You can go see how the demo is. I'm still looking forward to see how we can easily run this. There is no straightforward easiest way to run this, but I might soon put together a tutorial how we can run this on some possible compute. The next one is actually a flex from Meta AI. I don't know whether this model would ever see the light of the day, but this is a model. It's called Spirit LM. Spirit. It's like inner spirit. It's interleaved spoken and written language. If you know Gemini is a model that can create interleaved images and text. You don't have a lot of models that can do this. Mostly like even the model that I covered last week, Janus, it can create text separately. It can create image separately. Even though it's a multimodal model, it's a unified transformer architecture. Even though it is all these things, it's not interleaved text and image generation. Very few models can do that. So this model can create interleaved spoken and written language. That means it can generate audio and also it can have text in the middle. They've got the architecture, so it's the language model behind it is it's Llama, but it's quite interesting to see how this this kind of an idea comes in. Like this will take us to like a truly multimodal model architectures one day. So where you can have one model that can do everything like interleaved text, interleaved images, interleaved audios, and all the modalities come into picture. It's very exciting to see this. Imagine you've got a video and the audio is also generated and kind of a caption is generated. It's pretty interesting to see. This is the latest model. The paper is released, but I don't think the model will be released anytime soon, especially given how Meta keeps certain things close to their heart. The very final one that I want to close this video with is a rumor, kind of a report, grapevine. So Google is reportedly developing an agent. It's called Jarvis, the project name Jarvis. I mean, are they going to pay for Marvel? I don't know if anybody created Jarvis before Marvel as a name. Anyways, it's going to be called Jarvis. It's computer using agent. Very similar like what Claude has done. I know for sure, I think everybody at this point agrees that large language models are good to generate text. You have a lot of applications, but I think they truly unlock some amazing potential if you make them an agent. And one of the things that I'm spending a lot of time in my life every day, is learning how to use LLMs for non-textual use cases. That's where I spend most of the time, and I'm trying to learn more about it. So agent is quite exciting. With respect to Google, I'm not sure like what or when it is going to come, but it is supposed to be a browser-based tool. So mostly it could be a Chrome plugin because Chromium, and it could be to automate everyday web tasks. So what I guess here is that it is exactly like computer use from Claude, but instead of letting you lose access anything, it is going to be just based on a browser. So whatever you want to do, browser-based automation, like whatever you did with Selenium, I think it could be like a single line, and of course closed source in this particular case. But it's quite exciting to see that people are trying to do browser automation. In fact, like computer automation. So we are going to probably get a computer using agent. I hope Google doesn't mess it up. But otherwise, these are the top 10 news that I wanted to cover. Let me know what you think about it. See you in another video. Happy prompting.